What's good? I have changed some things around. If you're new here, you may notice that there's no fancy green screen. There's no amazing editing. It's just mostly a one shot, a very minimal cuts here and there. And the reason for that is because I felt like I want to talk about movies. I want to talk about a series that I watched. There's been so much lately. Skeleton Crew, About Time, I think it's called, or We Live in Time. I'll put the poster for it somewhere here. There's been so much that I've watched, so many trailers that I've seen, and I wanted to react to them or break them down and discuss them with you guys. And I felt like doing so with a bunch of editing and a way that like the production value takes over, it retracts from this. The ability to just be able to sit down, have a chat, and discuss movies and things that we like and share opinions on things. So let me know if you like this new format. Like I say, super simple. We're going to be using this going forward for the next couple of months and just seeing how people respond to it, if it's something we should carry on or whether you prefer the fancy stuff. The channel's still really small, so I have the opportunity to be able to experiment with things and have fun and see what people like and what they don't like. So let me know. I may do something about the mic though, because I don't want to be holding a left mic every time. It feels still feels a little bit too production-y, you know what I mean? But you know what's kind of crazy? And I will talk about movies in a second, but I'm actually recording this using an iPhone. There's no Sony A7S with a fancy 18mm f1.2. This is an iPhone video. It makes me so excited, dude. Anyway, I'm going to quickly run through a couple of things that I watched recently that have really inspired me, or things that I wanted to talk about. Like I said, I just haven't had an opportunity to do so because I've been working on a bunch of other projects, and it's just a pain doing it in a fully produced way. But Skeleton Crew, Star Wars, I didn't think much of it at first. When I saw the first couple of trailers, I was, making videos saying, oh, look, there's elephants in Star Wars now. I think I was way too harsh on it. I'll be honest. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think it's one of the best projects that we have had in Star Wars in a long, long time. I think Andor was pretty damn good. Mandalorian season 1 and most of season 2, pretty good. But then this came along, and don't get me wrong, it's not proper Star Wars, if you want to use that terminology. It's just, it makes you feel like a kid again. I felt like I was watching the Goonies in space with characters that if I had watched this when I was a kid, I would have loved. I would have related to so much. And there's so many scenes, weirdly, that have incredible cinematics. There's one in particular where the kids are in a ship and they're trying to escape off this planet. And then it starts getting crunched and you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And then the armor of the ship rips off and it reveals this absolutely beautiful starship. I have no idea models or names or anything like that, but the same way I used to look at TIE fighters and X-Wings and things like that when I was younger, and I used to love the designs. This is the first time I felt that about a new ship in Star Wars. It's super nerdy, I get that, but it made me feel like a kid again, and I honestly love the show from start to finish. In terms of story, was it amazing? No, but it was fun. Jude Law's character was just Jude Law, the same way Dwayne Johnson is Dwayne Johnson in every Dwayne Johnson movie. But even Jude Law's character, like you have moments where you're like, okay, well, this bad guy is going to end up being a good guy, and he's going to change, and he's going to follow the general structure and narrative that most stories seem to have these days. No, he stays the bad guy. He follows his path all the way through, and he's very deceptive, and it's super sneaky. And there's like, oh, is he a Jedi? What's his story? How can he use the Force? Is it a trick? And you're questioning Jude Law's character the entire time, which to me, I thought that was just brilliant character development and storytelling from start to finish. We Live in Time, I think that's the name of it. Like I said, I'll put it somewhere, but that was another really great movie that I thoroughly enjoyed. I had some issues with the pacing and the way that they presented the story, because it's one of those that it kind of cuts from the past to the present to the future, and you go back and forth between these. And for the most part, I don't mind movies like that, but I felt like this one in particular, it felt so strange, some of the decisions that they made, because the whole premise of the story is a romance between Andrew Garfield's character and Florence Pugh, and they are going through some stuff. They're discovering their relationship and how they make things work. And what made it so weird is they put these big plot points in, like, is this person going to make it through this bad thing? But you've already seen them 5-10 years in the future. So it's like, I know they survive. I know there is no tension here, really, because I know towards the end of it, it doesn't really matter. There is a twist at the end, which I thought was really good. And as a dad, it hit me pretty hard. At the same time, I feel like the pacing thing was just super weird. Outside of that, great movie. I really enjoyed it. I also wanted to talk about all the trailers and stuff we've been having recently, mostly things like Captain America Brave New World. Really interesting story. I've heard some like early screenings haven't done so great. I'm not going to get into that. I always like to go into a movie feeling optimistic, especially with Marvel and stuff like that. I really like going into it and just thinking, you know what? I'm gonna experience this here. I'm not gonna base it off leaks or rumors on Twitter. I just want to, get the vibe while I'm there watching it. I don't want to break it down too much. We've seen I was about to say Indiana Jones. We've seen Harrison Ford as Red Hulk, which is going to be really interesting, especially when we realize, or the audience realizes, that he can actually like superheat things. That's going to be fun. How is that going to respond to vibranium? At what point in the show are we going to get mentions of adamantium? Is Cap going to get an adamantium shield? Is he going to get an adamantium suit? I don't know. But I feel like towards the end of this movie, we're going to get hints of the Weapon X program. I don't even know what they're going to do with that. Because Hugh Jackman's meant to be playing Wolverine for the next 10 years. He's going to be doing it when he claims his pension. I don't know how they're going to implement adamantium and Wolverine in our version of the MCU, but it'll be really interesting to see how all that plays out. There's also been the Superman trailer. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of DC. I watched some of the old Superman and Batman movies growing up, but I was never immersed into it. I never read the comics like I have with Marvel. So I don't know what I'm getting myself into. I did a bit of research on the day and I kind of learned a bit about the characters naturally. Where's my computer just died? Hello. I'm still apprehensive about it because DC haven't had the best track record, and working with Warner Bros. And stuff like that, it's like, there's going to be obstacles here and there. But I think if anybody can make this work, it's going to be James Gunn. I just want to know, like, is the Batman, Robert Pattinson's Batman, and the Penguin, are they going to be, are they in the same universe? Are they disconnected? Because Creature Commandos showed a completely different looking Batman, and I'm like, are they two separate universes? I'm pretty sure they are. But it would be cool to see them together. I think that's pretty much it. There's been loads of stuff that I've watched, loads of stuff that I wanted to talk about, and I just want to ramble for a minute and just kind of share some opinions. Please let me know what you think about these. Give me some ideas of what you think are going to be happening throughout the Captain America movie, the future of DC, because I genuinely, I just want to sit down and discuss it. It's not for an algorithm. It's not for boosting the channel. I want people to talk to about this stuff because there's nobody in my friendship circle that is into DC and Marvel and movies, and it annoys me so much. I need somebody to vent to. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up here. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Over the next couple of weeks, like I said, we're going to be testing this format, making a couple of different videos here and just seeing how things go. So if you want to be a part of it, tap the subscribe button. And if you really want to, if you happen to be a creator, grab yourself one of these hats from HeroVibes.store. They are my stuff and it helps support everything we do here on this channel and on the tech channel, the gaming channel, all of the stuff that we create. I love your faces. You're amazingly beautiful, and I will catch you in the next one.